Is it a tree? Is it a dragon? It's both! Hello everyone, my name is Wolf and today I'm going to show you how to build this dragon tree. I'd like to mention right now that this is not a block for block tutorial, instead I will show and explain each step. Though I will show the trickier parts like the head block for block, so don't worry. So, let's get started. First of all, we want to get the general shape down, so take any block and start to build one line of blocks. When building, think of a S shape and also make sure to go not only up and down but also forward and backward so that your build becomes three-dimensional. Focus on creating smooth curves. For this you have to understand that the more you go up, the steeper your curve gets. And the more you go to the side, your curve gets shallower. Right now you don't have to think too much about placing every block perfectly, it's just about getting the general shape. You can always come back to parts you don't like and change them. All in all, this build is quite forgiving since the dragon is mostly a tree, and the tree can be really unique and chaotic, so you don't have to nail every block. When you have a general shape that you like, it is now the time to thicken it out. Again, don't think about where you place blocks, you can just add them about anywhere. Place a few at the bottom, the top and the sides. Make sure you get a bit thinner to the top, there will be the tip of the tail. Contrary to that, the bottom end will be the head. I already marked out where I wanted the legs to be. They will also make great branches, or in the case of the front legs, will support the tree. The shape is quite weird otherwise, but works great. You can still redo areas you aren't happy with. So now we have something like to size this, and don't worry about all these imperfections like for example over there, because now on the next step we are just going to fix it. So these blocks that stick out look kinda weird, and to fix that, just remove them. At places where the stem is too thin, add more blocks. Try to get your shape as smooth as possible. And to smooth it out further, from now on you can also use stairs and slabs. As mentioned in the beginning, I will show you the head block by block, because that must be the hardest part of the build. Of course you can build your own if you'd like to. We will simply attach the head to the neck here, and the dragon's head will be tilted down a little because in my opinion that looks slightly better. Start with 6 blocks you place like this, add another 4 there and another one there. Place stairs on each block to smooth it out, and then add 5 slabs to the bottom like so. This will be the middle layer. The next layer will be the same on each side, so after you finish one side, copy it to the other. Start by placing full blocks here. The eye will go on this spot and is simply an upside down stair. Later you can exchange the block behind for a different one. Another 3 stairs there, there and there, then connect the bottom part with 2 more slabs. This is the first side, the other side is the same but flipped. I already marked out where I wanted the dragon's legs to be. The 2 front legs will support the dragon in its position and the hind legs will make great branches. For the front legs, remember to build in this corner, that will be the elbow or whatever part that is. Again you can use stairs to smooth the shape out. The hind legs are a bit trickier, you have to go forward a bit first, then backward, then forward again. Though it doesn't really matter, you could go pretty much straight too, because most of it will be covered with these later. And as mentioned before, this build is quite forgiving because of its organic shape. It is up to you whether you see this more as the legs of the dragon or just as a branch. Now that we have the dragon part or the stem depending on how you view it, it's time to add a bit of color to it. Until now I used stripped oak logs, but I want to bring in areas that are lighter and darker. For that I am using stripped spruce logs, stripped birch logs, and for some color stripped cherry and mangrove logs. Then of course I'm also using all of the stairs and slabs. While I decided to stick to different wood variants, it is up to you which blocks you'd like to use, though I recommend using blocks that also have a stair and slab variant. As you can see, I do not place the blocks randomly, instead I am creating lines that go up the stem. Areas that are in the shadow I emphasize with the darker spruce wood, and for areas that are supposed to look very bright I use birch planks. Also I snuck in some mud bricks for texture. For the dragon's horns you can use a combination out of stairs and slabs. For mine I chose to go with birch so that it blends in. With the dragon part finished, it is now time to add in the leaves. Of course you need something to place them on, so take any of your blocks and start build up branches. Don't worry, they will be completely covered with leaves later. Make sure you don't leave huge gaps between your branches and also remember to occasionally go diagonally for depth. You can start with placing leaves just after a few branches so that you can see where some are still missing and add them then. Just focus on adding as many leaves as possible so that the tree looks big and full. Adding the leaves is taking the most time, and if you'd like to, you can also use mods like World Edit to add a bunch of leaves at once. For this, use the Sear command and also a mask to affect only air. Since this basically creates a bunch of sears, you have to go around and punch out or add blocks to make it look more organic. For the final touches, you can go around once more and add these blocks that are just connected diagonally. These will make the tree look extra fluffy and airy. Also, you can replace a few of the blocks of the stem with moss blocks or place moss carpets on top. And to tie everything really together, use a few more leaf blocks on the dragon's back. With that, the dragon tree is finished. I hope you like this build as much as I do, and until the next time, goodbye!